Well, let's get talking now and understand the implication of all of this. I'm being joined by Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim from the United Arab Emirates, who is the managing partner of Healthcare and Business Management Consulting. Thank you so much. It's good to have you on the program to discuss this very interesting development. How are you today?
It's good to have you too, Tolu. Thank you very much for having me on this program.
Well, I like us to start staying with our previous conversation and what we talked about regarding the Nigerian UAE visa ban issue and some key solutions mentioned on that day. Can we do a review of that? It seems like most of what we said are coming to fruition.
Definitely, Tolu. I was so excited when first of all, I must commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the initiative. And, it came at the right time because, about 3 months ago, we were having this conversation where, I suggested the bilateral trade agreement and, the speculations of what's been happening, what's been causing it, the money owed to Emirates, the money owed here. And, but my position was a way forward and not necessarily looking at what had hindered the problem, but how do we move forward on this? Because there are certain key indices that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has used, and I'm very happy that I mentioned this 3 months ago, and that's what came to play. Tolu, thank you for your program, though.
Let's now highlight some key points in that press release by Ajuri Ngalale, that's the special advisor to the president on media and publicity. Immediate lifting of the visa ban and resumption of flights by Etihad and Emirates Airlines. Can you tell us more about this and what it means for us?
Okay, definitely, based on the agreement with what the ruler of United Arab Emirates, His Highness Sheikh Zayed, has actually implemented that. Most times when such conversation ensue, it has to do with recognition of what, certain economic indices that they require in terms of security, in terms of bilateral trade agreements. But in all honesty, all that was said would need to go through a process. It's not just going to happen overnight. There's going to be security conversations between the UAE government, the immigration sector, to see how they can actually put things in place and then not fall back on the same problems that are being encountered. And they're going to work with Nigerian government as well, because I believe the Foreign Affairs Minister was also there in connection with the meeting. The security advisor on the president was also there in the meeting, and the media publicity personnel was also there in the meeting with the president. So everything is going to go through a process. I would also just advise Nigerians within this sector to take a breather and work together with the president to see that everything that was mentioned, with regards to the visa ban lifting, is being addressed, accordingly. That's my position on this.
In development there, I must tell you, Mr. Ibrahim, there is also no immediate payment by Nigerians. This is also good news. And let me tie this to my next question, that what does this mean for economic development and, of course, investment between both countries?
Okay, Tolu, I'll tell you something about, within the Islamic region and how they operate their investment programs. If you notice, most Islamic banks don't actually operate over interest or, high interest rates and all of that. And if we notice the time this money the period this money which is owed to all these airlines was at a prevailing rate of about 400 to, I think, 300 to 400 naira per dollar. Now the value of naira has increased to 900. No leader in his right senses will pay twice that amount, but there are certain economic bilateral trade that can pay back this if given the opportunity. There are certain reforms, there are certain policies. Now, people do not understand how government works to a greater extent. But when you have the pact that happened in the G20 actually opened a lot of people's understanding to why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu secured a deal with India and some Indian companies to come and invest a certain number of billions. This is direct, investment, and this would also strengthen our naira indirectly. But with the relationship with the UAE, which we have had in the time past, all the UAE government needed was to say, we needed a leader who is forward-driven, focused, and can actually follow up on our relationship. Because I want to believe that the previous government was just making promises and not fulfilling it. But they needed to speak to someone who had a vision. And I mentioned it that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, within the shortest possible time, would actually show Nigerians how it is to play in the global economic and business, facet. I'm so excited because I know who President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is. I know his disposition on things.
Let's look at some sectors now. I like to be particular sometimes. Defense, agriculture, and all of this. I see that smile already. Healthcare, and all of that. So what more are you thinking about strengthening these ties, particularly at this time?
Thank you for that question, Tolu. Tolu, I believe the UAE are very, when it comes to security, they're very efficient. And also when it comes to energy, they're very efficient. And we have some meaningful Nigerians who are doing a great job when it comes to energy within the UAE sector as well. And healthcare is something that I see that, yes.
President Tinubu speaking that language everywhere he steps into. India, Kenya, even when the vice president represented him at Johannesburg, he's telling them that, yes, Nigeria is ready for business. And that's the way we're open.
Mind you, Tolu, sorry to cut you off. Germany is coming over next month. So we see body language, his movement. He's a businessman. He understands. He's worked in the private sector. He's worked as a government official. He's actually mentored on, with so many people. He has actually built a lot of leadership within Nigeria. He's just I want to say he's just the right person for Nigeria at this moment. Yes, he has.
Now acknowledge the UAE president, because this indeed, it's from both sides. We must agree, for his friendship and determined effort to strengthen ties with Africa's most populous nation. How does this come to you?
Well, I want to say, I've learned, like I said, when you understand the dynamics of UAE and how they've actually grown in the last 4 decades, it takes
off. Now, let's see practically how this can help improve trade, tourism, and of course cooperation among two countries. It seems Nigerians, like always, they always want to come to Dubai to relax, have a good time, do some shopping, and all of that. Are we expecting more of that to happen following this handshake between both countries?
Yeah, definitely, Tolu, because I can tell you for sure that a lot of businesses have actually missed Nigerians. If you go to the local market in Dera, a lot of the traders there actually said they miss Nigerians because we come there in a large population and a large quantity to buy and to trade. And also, we want to see the good part of
expectations. After such agreements and investments, many would expect something to come next. Of course, significant potential of all of this. What is your outlook in its totality? And some specifics about this foreign exchange liquidity program. How would that help us?
Tolu, you see, like the agreement, the trade agreements that have actually been secured with India. Let me take an example with India. What happened with India with the investment that people are coming in with certain amount of money to invest in the steel industry and also the energy sector. Now, if you look at it, what countries do is they come in, they invest, and they back again. So
development unfolds, because of course a lot of developments will follow this move, and we hope to have you in to always speak around it. I must thank you so much, Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim, healthcare and business management consultant, live from United Arab Emirates and Dubai. They're bringing us up to speed with implication, what all of this means and how it translates. Well, I'm also interested in how it translates to Naira and Kobo. That's what we spend here. We don't spend dollars here.
Don't worry. I can assure you that with this meeting that has taken place, the excitements are there, but I do know that we need to hold, at least I didn't mention this, we need to hold people to accountability.
Good.
Because it's not just for them to have this conversation, and at the end of the day, people who are accountable are not held accountable. Do you understand? So it'll make a lot of sense if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu single-handedly cannot do all of this, but he has to designate the right people to actually create this impact, to create this decision. And I know the United Arab Emirates are very cautious about this. You know, when they speak on a thing, they want to see it done to the letter, to the end.
Again, Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim, the healthcare and business management consultant. Hopefully, your business should begin to boom as it used to be going forward. Thank you so much.
We waited for 2 years, and we hope that the UAE government would actually look into the fact of a greater population of Nigerians who are here, who have, you know, actually had visa overstay. There should be some certain level of concessions for them because it wasn't their fault. And, you know, a lot of us have our roots here. I've been here for the last 12 years. I've had my working career in the last 10 years. I just started my business in the last 2 years. COVID came. I actually lost my construction license again with this impact of the visa restriction. So I've been trying to pick up since the time of COVID, but I do hope that the UAE would actually look at case by case and see how they can assist people to come back and then start doing business again. We love this country, we love Nigeria, and we love what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we hope to see a better union business relationship with everybody. So we're open to business, we're open to tourism, we're open to healthcare. Once the visa starts going, once the UAE government has given their go-ahead, we'll definitely get across to people on this.
I must thank you so much. Interesting conversation again. I must say, Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim, do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Tolu.